All right, man. Peace. It's Bronzebird here with another video. So, more into this transmaxing investigation that I'm trying to, look into because I just find it weird about how our society is going. Men trying to push this whole entire fluidity nonsense out here and a lot of open dialogue, conversations, and stuff like that. Your preference is your preference, your choice is your choice. I just expose the fact of the matter that when it even comes to incels, that their ways of trying to conduct how they can get the maximum potential of being seen as attractive is in ways that's very extreme, in which a lot of men now don't even focus on the woman as being the optical attraction of their eyes. They now focus if the person is feminine. So that creates the grayscale area for a lot of these conversations. And I'll be reviewing two videos where, there's going to be particularly so-called Black men that voice their opinion about what they view when it comes to the quote unquote transsexual woman. And I've done a video on this before, but I think it was very important for us to get into the conversation of transmaxing and really, explore the idea of it. You understand? My thing about it is, especially when so-called Black men get into this conversation, it reminds you of how it was in jail, and about how when a man decides to have sexual relations with another man in jail, it's not noted as gay. It's supposed to be noted as just prison stuff. You know what I'm saying? What they say, quote unquote, jail shit. You know what I mean? And so a lot of that stuff goes out the window because you're in a maximized prison with other men all day. So all men, you don't have the chance to be around a woman freely. I mean, of course, there might be situations where a female security guard may throw it at you, but that's not an all-day occurrence. That's not, I mean, I don't know. I have never been to prison, but I would figure that it's not a common occurrence that, women security guards willfully are always going to go ahead and throw their coochie at men in prison. But to get into the story, I just want to show you these videos real quick, give my commentary, and we'll get into the conversation. So, Pete.
Your content with men, women,
And I don't know, before we begin, this brother really seems like he is very, very demonic. The tattoos all over his face, the body, and all this other stuff just seems completely demonic all the way through.
and trans, right?
Yes, as content is, yes.
Okay, bet. So, do you consider yourself bisexual, pansexual, or what?
I'm money sexual, you feel me?
You think it's possible for somebody to you know what I'm saying, do that type of content and not be attracted to the same sex, or?
Well, that's the whole entire gay for pay aesthetic, where that inadvertently that you are having sex with the same sex, but you're not doing it because you actually enjoy it. You're doing it because you're getting money out of it, and there's a lot of stipulations that come into that, where now these new age terms and new age, fixtures are saying, hey, I'm not doing it because I like men. I'm doing it because I'm trying to get paid. And, I mean, hey, everybody has their own way of making money. But to me, if you really are staying in your manhood, if you really are staying deeply impacted into who you are as a man, stuff like this is going to be like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sit up there and just go ahead and pull out my phallus and put it inside of the back door of another man. Like, I'm not going to do that because I am a straight man. I'm a heterosexual man. And at this point, I would ask you to view one of my videos that actually talked about the classification of what they view as straight now, because now in order for you to be a very, revered and very prominent straight man, you have to give in to the whole idea of being super straight.
Of course.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta think just business wise,
Right. Just business. I bet.
There's girls that eat pussy that ain't lesbian.
Now, when people call you gay, do that make you mad, or it's just like whatever?
No, I tell boy more. No,
Yeah.
I'm not gay. I said no homo before I did all that shit. So Lil Wayne told me, as long as I say no homo, that shit don't count.
And the weird thing about it is, so what do? Do you say no homo before you have sex with another man, or you have sex with a transsexual? Like, it always blows my mind when, you know, impactful conversations come in like this and they're being interviewed and all this other stuff. In the next video I'm going to show you that you got a preview of, you've seen this video, you've seen this guy talk about the experiences and what he likes and stuff like that. But I just want to, you know, get into the conversation about this.
Now I want to get to this shit, man. Super Bowl night, the night of the Super Bowl, Cincinnati Bengals are playing the Rams. We have you're on Instagram, you're posting a half t-shirt and you're saying I'm bisexual, I like females and males.
For sure.
Now, I remember this video when it first came out, and I remember that the Instagram was going crazy when they seen this young dude who decided to post a picture of himself with a half t-shirt. And you know, a lot of these dudes is wearing like half cut t-shirts and wearing skirts with Timbs on and stuff like that. They supposed to be revered as still gangster, but then sitting up there talking about, you know, I'm bisexual, or, you know, this is the way my drip is and stuff like that. And I mean, even off the record, even off the topic a little bit, this is why I say to people, I don't get fashion, because now what are you revering as fly? What are you revering as the drip? What are you revering as something that's cool? Borrowing your chick's clothes and sitting up there saying, this is how I get fly? Like, what are we doing now? And what you're starting to see is a lot of the stuff is going into that whole entire fluidity thing, not only the fluidity things, but playing credence to a lot of the old ways of society, in which in certain empires, it was okay for a man to do things with other men. It was okay for men to castrate themselves and actually have sexual relations with another man. Prevalently, you know, certain aspects of the Egyptian cultures, the Greek cultures, even let's just say the Romans, for example, they did a lot of things like that. But the point is that a lot of this stuff isn't new. History has a strange way of repeating itself. So what you're seeing manifest in this society is things that actually happen in olden societies being played out again in the year we call 2023. But you and I know that if you are one that follows what exactly is the right way of things, it's not 2023 right now. 2023 for us doesn't come until March.
Now, take us through that. What made you post that? Take us through that whole ordeal, that whole situation.
What made me post it? Cause like shit, for real. I was just saying how I feel for real, like on some real shit, on some, you know. Don't get me wrong, I ain't out here sucking no dick and getting fucked in the ass and no shit like that. But you feel what I'm saying? I'll make a nigga my bitch. You wanna be my bitch? I'll make a motherfucker my bitch quick. Like I don't give no fuck. Like I ain't out here looking at motherfuckers like, yeah, I want him, I want that. It's like, nah, I got a certain type. I like transgender shit like that. I like.
And you know what's funny about that is when he said, quote unquote, make a nigga my bitch, it should remind you about how they romanticize and publicize, even on television, the jail culture. You know, when men were getting into all these type situations and, you know, you had the quote unquote alpha males or the big buff stereotypical dudes, usually a so-called black man who's bald and wearing prison outfit. You know, the whole entire idea is, you know, do what I say or you're going to get R'd. You know what I'm saying? So you make a dude your bitch basically because they didn't do something you asked, or, you know, there was all these bait traps that this guy fell into. So he had no other way of dealing with the debts that he had to pay, but he actually had to come to you, and therefore you had to invoke sexual favors in order for the debts to be met, or, you know, basically be publicly shamed in the jail system.
Like feminine, cause I'm masculine, so I'm a motherfucking king. I come from king's royalty. I like power, so shit, you know.
Power dominance can come into the idea of, like, you know, a lot of this kink stuff, and we can get into a whole conversation about that. But the power and dominance things, it's just making me think of that when he says that.
And when did you accept that that's who you were? Did you been knowing like?
Nah, I just went around niggas liking oh, I like him or no shit. I know that's a motherfucker thing. Like, he probably just was around motherfuckers like, yo, I like him. I wanna. Nah, I ain't know. I grew up around savages. I was raised by real savages, like real men. Like, so, I ain't soft, sweet, none of that shit. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out to the real. Like, yeah, like shit. So yeah.
Well, otherwise than that, that's just a little bit of a clip that I wanted to share with the people. Make sure you give me your thoughts in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.